Might he change his mind again once he's back in office? Let's check in with Julian Epstein. He served as chief counsel of the House Judiciary Committee and staff director to the House Oversight Committee of our Democrats, and back with us as conservative commentator and host of The Death of Journalism, John Ziegler. Julian, long time. Good to see you again. All right, so what do you make of this? Do you think that this is the beginning of a flip-flop from Donald Trump?
Well, Dan, first of all, thanks for having me on, and it's good to see you again. I think this is a very dumb position for Donald Trump. I think he's doing exactly what Joe Biden did on immigration and on Israel, where he's trying to have it both ways. He's trying to satisfy the base, and he's trying to throw a bone to the centrists. I think the Democrats will kill him on this issue. Essentially, what he is saying is that he supports bans like the ban in Florida, the 6-week ban in Florida, which we know from all the polling is very unpopular. This is sort of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, in the sense that Trump is ahead on almost every single issue, on immigration, economy, crime, you name it, you run down the list. This is the one issue he's behind. If the campaign had any imagination, I think they could have found a much smarter middle ground. They could have said, for example, we will support federal legislation that will ban abortion after 15 weeks. And then we will leave open the possibility of giving states the rights to do stricter bans, not preempting stricter bans. And they could have sort of hedged on that. And that would have been a much smarter move to the center. But right now, it sounds like what he's doing is pandering to the base the way Joe Biden is pandering to the base. And it ain't helping Joe Biden any. You can look at all the polling. This isn't going to help Donald Trump
But
much.
Julian, the base is not happy. I mean, you know, Mike Pence saying today President Trump's retreat on the right to life is a slap in the face to the millions of pro-life Americans who voted for him in 2016 and 2020. The pro-life organization, pro-life org, said we're deeply disappointed in President Trump's position, saying the issue is back to the states, et cetera. So it seems like many on the far right are upset with him.
And many on the far left are upset with Joe Biden, but that doesn't mean that both of these candidates shouldn't be doing the smart thing and moving to the political center. On the issue of abortion, where the political center is the 15-week ban. After that, they can argue the Democrats are for late-term abortions, which are also unpopular. But right now, he's sort of getting the worst of both worlds. He's upsetting the base, who wants an extremist position, who everyone knows is sort of untenable in a general election. And he's sort of, you know, he's not moving towards where the Nikki Haley vote was, which is let's find a compromise that we can pass through federal legislation. So I think this was hastily done. This wasn't very thoughtful. And as I just laid out, there is a middle ground where they could construct a bill that says a ban after 15 weeks, but we will give states the ability to do something stronger. They could have hedged on that. That would have been a much smarter place for Trump.
John Ziegler, what do you make of it?
But he's not doing that.
In theory, Dan, I think this is actually a pretty smart move, but it's the wrong guy doing the move, because this all depends on Donald Trump's personal integrity. Pro-lifers are not going to vote for Joe Biden, and Donald Trump knows that, so he can basically take them for granted. The problem here is, do you believe his pledge? And this is a guy, let's be clear, who has been married and divorced twice. So his pledge doesn't really mean very much, and apparently he's cheated on his third wife. So this is not exactly the guy you can believe in when it comes to a pledge. So I don't know to whom he's actually appealing. I think this is a wash. It's a very difficult situation for Trump from a national perspective, but I don't think he helped himself or really hurt himself that much today, even though he's going to take criticism from the right. They're still going to vote for him.
Well, Dan, let me tell you why I think John is slightly off on that. The Democrats are going to go out and say that Donald Trump is now supporting a 6-week ban in Florida. And they're correct in saying that. And that's a position that is untenable in a general election. And why Trump and the Trump campaign doesn't have the sort of the wherewithal and the creativity to figure out a better position along the lines that I just articulated, when they're ahead on every single issue. The reason that the Democrats did so well in 2022 against all the polling expectations was because of this issue. And for them to have taken such a hasty and sort of, you know, quickly slopped together position on this issue without using any imagination as to how to thread the needle, I think just, to me, shows a level of disorganization within it.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.